So again, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a new mural for Out of the Blue request for qualifications. This is the applicant information session for Thursday, December 4th, 2025. This session is going to be recorded and will be available on our website tomorrow or later today. So you can access that if you need to refer back to it. So, an introduction. The Salt Lake City Arts Council Public Art Program is seeking to commission a Salt Lake County-based artist or artist-led team to design and install a new mural for Out of the Blue, a sculpture by Stephen Kessler. And the sculpture currently features the mural Point of Reference by Michael Murdoch. Eligibility for this call is open to all professional artists and our artist-led teams residing in or with studios located in Salt Lake County. So even if you're not a Salt Lake County resident, if you have a studio that is in Salt Lake County, you are eligible to apply for this call. And you are eligible regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, national origin, age, religion, marital status, political opinion or affiliation, or mental or physical disability. And we encourage artist-led team applications. Each team must be led by a person with a demonstrated history of professional activity as an artist. And for this project, the team leader must have their primary residence or studio located in Salt Lake County. So if you are an artist outside of Salt Lake County, you can team up with an artist inside of Salt Lake County to apply for this call. Teams may not substitute team members after submissions unless the public art program consents to any proposed substitution. So we'll just keep in conversation with you about your team members. And an artist may not apply as a team member for more than one team and may not, having trouble seeing my screen, 1 second. An artist may not apply as a member of more than one team and may not apply as an individual artist if already applying as a team. So you can only have one application per person. Project background. So in April of 2022, the Salt Lake City Public Art Program installed Out of the Blue, aka the Whale, which is a 23-foot tall sculpture of a humpback whale. This has become an iconic piece for the neighborhood and Salt Lake City, and it's located in the roundabout where Harvey Milk Boulevard, 1100 East and Gilmore Drive meet. I'm sure most of you know where this is, but in case you don't, though, this is the location for the artwork. And it's along the 9-lane corridor, which is a major east-west route that connects residential neighborhoods, commercial centers, and recreation sites. This is a couple blocks up from the 9th and 9th Business District. And again, it's become an icon for Salt Lake City. And as a gathering point, it's become a place for local and national visitors. I was recently there and met some people from, I think, Washington State, and their first stop in Salt Lake City was going to see the whale. And to reflect the neighborhood's vibrant and evolving character, a new mural for the sculpture is commissioned every 3 to 5 years through a rotating mural program. So this rotating mural program has always been in place, and it has always been the plan for the mural on Out of the Blue to be changed every 3 to 5 years. Project scope. The selected Salt Lake County-based artist or team will create a mural that celebrates the neighborhood's creativity, inclusivity, and local character while deepening the artwork's connection to Salt Lake City's identity. The mural will be informed by insights gathered through the What's Next for the Whale Shape SLC survey. So this past August to October, we conducted a survey called What's Next for the Whale, and we received over 1,700 community responses. And our survey asked about the sculpture itself, the 9th and 9th community, and what Salt Lake City, what is out of the blue about Salt Lake City. And so we have created a report for that, and that is linked on this PDF or on this presentation. And so you can check out that report. It's also on the Shape SLC website as well. And artists will be required to integrate this community input into their mural design. So for artwork goals, the Salt Lake Art Design Board seeks to commission a site-specific artwork that meets some or all of the following goals. Serves as a welcoming entrance to the 9th South Corridor and 9th and 9th neighborhood. Celebrates the 9th and 9th neighborhood's vibrant, eclectic identity and Salt Lake City's spirit as a place that embraces differences and defies expectations. Evokes curiosity, delight, and imagination, reflecting Salt Lake City's unique balance of nature, creativity, and community. Embodies the whimsy and joy associated with Out of the Blue while connecting to Salt Lake City's natural and urban landscapes. Is engaging from all angles as the roundabout provides an opportunity for viewers to view the object from 360 degrees, and is of the highest quality creatively and technically, and exemplifies strong imaginative design. Resists general wear and vandalism, offers easy, minimal, and low-cost maintenance, and finally meets all public safety and maintenance standards and complies with the Americans for Disabilities Act, Salt Lake City requirements, and all other applicable laws, codes, and regulations, including guidance from the Salt Lake City Transportation and Engineering departments regarding pedestrian, cyclist, and vehicle visibility and safety. And all of these artwork goals were influenced by the survey report. For the budget, the commission award is $12,500 and its limit of one commission per artist or artist-led team. And the commission is inclusive of artist fees, supplies and materials, labor, insurance, and transportation. And for additional considerations, the artist should include a contingency of at least 10% of the project's commission. And the city will cover costs associated with lift rental, including delivery and setup. And we will work with the commission artist to decide the amount for the lift. And the artist will be responsible for painting and anti-graffiti protective coating, but the city will cover the costs of that coating. For insurance requirements, general liability, commercial general liability insurance with Salt Lake City Corporation listed as additionally insured, vehicle insurance, commercial auto insurance with Salt Lake City Corporation listed as additional insured, and workers' compensation, proof of workers' compensation, or you can apply for a workers' compensation coverage waiver. For artist qualifications, the Salt Lake Art Design Board, in consultation with project stakeholders, will choose up to 4 finalists for project development. The selection of an artist or artist-led team is subject to, but not limited by, the following qualifications. Artist professional experience represents a developed and successful body of public art, projects of a similar scope and scale as demonstrated by visual documentation. We want to see that you have done projects of similar size and scope, ability to meet deadlines, budget, and perform work in a timely, professional manner, willingness of the artist to consult and work collaboratively with the Salt Lake Art Design Board and community stakeholders, an ability to understand sense of place and design in a context-sensitive manner as demonstrated by visual documentation. Artist demonstrates high investment in the project or demonstrates a relationship connection to the content/community involved in the work. And the artist has created works of lasting nature that do not require excessive maintenance or repair costs and meet public safety requirements, Salt Lake City requirements, and Americans for Disabilities Act standards. Finalist process and proposal presentation is as follows. So in mid-February of 2026, the 4 finalists will attend a meeting to learn about the project and ask questions to project stakeholders. And then the finalists will develop a site-specific conceptual proposal. So this is when you are presenting your mural design, and you will present digital renderings, and we will provide each finalist with a 3D model of Out of the Blue that the finalists will paint and present to the Art Design Board and project stakeholders. You will also be providing a written statement outlining intent, materials, installation, schedule, and budget, a description of how the artwork incorporates feedback included in the What's Next for the Whale 2025 engagement report that we've talked about. So after the finalists develop their proposals, there will be a presentation. So on Wednesday, May 6th, proposals presented to the Salt Lake Art Design Board and project partners will happen. And so all of the proposal materials will be due the Wednesday before, which is April 29th. And then each finalist will receive a $200 stipend to develop their proposals and to give the presentations. For the project schedules, and these are just dates that are estimated based upon our current knowledge of preliminary project schedules, and they're only intended to assist artists in determining their own ability to participate. And so these aren't final approved schedules, these could change. So just as a reminder, these might change in the future. This one will not change though. The RFQ submission deadline is Friday, January 2nd, 2026 by the end of day 11:59. And no late applications will be accepted and there are no exceptions for this. So if you have any questions about your application or about the application process, we highly recommend that you reach out to us about a week before or a few days before, because we won't be able to respond if it's closer to the deadline. And then the artwork proposal development. So if selected as a finalist, you will be notified in early February of 2026, and required finalists are required to meet in mid-February. And then the artwork proposal development will be winter to early spring. And then the artwork proposal presentation, like I talked about earlier, will happen on Wednesday, May 6th. And then we'll do a recommendation to the mayor for commission, which will happen between May and June. And then we'll begin artist contracting in the summer of 2026. And then the artwork fabrication and installation. So the mural will be installed by the commissioned artist in August of September of 2026. And then we'll get to celebrate that after it's installed. So if you are selected, you will enter into 2 agreements with Salt Lake City. So the first agreement will be to artwork proposal development, including any additional community engagement. The second agreement, artist commission work agreement, will be for artwork fabrication and installation, including any additional community engagement, which we already have provided the survey report, so there shouldn't be any. The selected artist team must carry general liability and auto insurance and must either provide proof of workers' compensation coverage or apply for a workers' compensation coverage waiver. So we've talked about that earlier. And then Salt Lake City will retain the right to remove or relocate the artwork as may be deemed necessary in the future. The selected artist team will retain copyright to their work, but will grant Salt Lake City right to reproduction. In the performance of this project under agreement with Salt Lake City, artists team shall comply with all applicable Salt Lake City requirements, laws, codes, ordinances, and regulations. And you can click on this link, and we'll share this slideshow on our website, so you can click it to view a sample of an artist commission work agreement. So how do you apply for this call? We are using callforentry.org or Cafe for submissions. There's no application fee. And just again, give yourself enough time, become familiar with the site. If it's your first time applying, all application materials will be uploaded in the corresponding fields through the provided Cafe application linked to our website. And we also link it in the presentation here. And any materials not specifically requested as part of this application or exceeding the maximum page length or format requirements will not be considered or reviewed by the Art Design Board and may result in disqualifications. And we will not notify you if you have been disqualified. So just make sure you're following all of the, make sure you're just submitting everything that we're requiring you of and nothing more. So for submission requirements, artists may apply individually as a team, and submissions that arrive on or before 11:59 p.m. on Friday, January 2nd of 2026 and meet all of the application requirements will be reviewed. So make sure you are getting your application in on time. Because if it is after midnight that night, we will not be reviewing it. The applicant's full name and contact information must appear on all submitted materials. So if you're applying as a team, indicate the name and contact information of the team's representative, because you cannot apply as a member of more than one team, and you may not apply as an individual artist if you are applying as a team. So again, one person, one application. And to be considered for this project, applicants must submit all the required materials via the CAFE website. And we've included assistance links to CAFE if you need help, because we do not oversee the back end of their software. And just a reminder, this is request for qualifications, and so we are not taking proposals at this time. That will only be going to the 4 finalists to develop their proposals later on. For application materials, we are requiring a proof of residence, and it is required, again, to have residence or studio be located in Salt Lake County, and acceptable forms of documentation may include lease agreement, utility bill, bank statement, or other official documents showing the individual's name and current address, and you're going to submit one document as a PDF. And so if you're applying as a team, only the team leader is required to submit proof of residence. And then for the other application materials, we're requiring a letter of interest. And so this is no more than 1 page or 500 words. And you want to keep the narrative relevant and aim to connect to the project goals for describing previous body of work. So you can kind of talk about how your past work connects to the call. And if applicable, please provide specific examples of your previous experience for projects of similar site scope, themes, and or scale. So this is really the place where you can kind of talk about the experience you have creating similar projects. And then we do require a resume, 2 pages max per artist. And so if you're submitting as a team, each artist needs to submit their resume, but you'll combine them into one PDF. So unlike the proof of residence, only the team leader needs to submit a proof of residence, but for the resume, all team members must submit their CV or their resume. We just want these to be current, brief, and relevant, and try to avoid fancy fonts, colors, and pictures. Just a reminder, our art design board is going to be looking at a lot of these. So you just want to make sure that all of the materials you provide are easy to read and approachable for our art design board and project stakeholders. And you're also going to include 2 professional references, and we'll only be contacting your references if you are selected as a finalist. And then for images of work, we're requiring a minimum of 5 images and a maximum of 10 images and up to 2 videos. And these need to be good quality, straightforward, and are just of the artwork itself. And then we're requiring the title, year, medium, dimensions, location, budget, and a brief description of the work. And do not submit multiple images of different works in one image. And previous proposals not realized cannot be more than 3 of the 10 images you provide. And just a reminder, the images are the primary way that the quality of your work is judged by our art design board. So you want to make sure that you're providing us with high quality images that really show the work that you've done in the past. For any assistance, so if you do not have access to a computer or for Wi-Fi to apply, the Salt Lake City Public Library branches offer free computer and Wi-Fi access, and you don't need a library card to access their Wi-Fi. And if you require further resources or accommodations to complete the application materials, such as translation and interpretation services to other languages, please email us at publicartprogram@slc.gov for assistance. And then here are some resources. These are also on the RFQ. So we have just the Out of the Blue website on our website, which is the current artwork. And then we have our community engagement report. And then we also have renderings available for you to use if you're trying to visualize kind of what your mural could look like on Out of the Blue. And all questions regarding this request for qualifications may only be directed to Salt Lake City Public Art Program staff at the email address listed below. Artists may be disqualified if any unsolicited contract related to this RFQ is, or contact related to this RFQ is made with a member of the Art Design Board or project stakeholders other than the Public Art Program staff during the selection process. So please do not reach out to the Art Design Board or project stakeholders if you know who they are. We can answer all of your questions, and we are more than happy to answer them and be contacted at any time during business hours. And so we do our best to respond to inquiries quickly. However, we may not be able to respond in a timely manner during the final days prior to the deadlines. So we kind of talked about this earlier. So give yourself an ample amount of time to apply for this. And if you do have any questions, make sure you're reaching out to us a couple days in advance so we can get back to you with the answers. And again, my name is Amy Childress, and my email is amy.childress@slc.gov. You can contact me or Renato or email us at publicartprogram@slc.gov. So I'm going to stop sharing and we can open up to the Q&A. So, I think Renato, you're on mute.
Hi, sorry. It looks like we have one question. If you're okay, I'll probably answer it, but I'll repeat it. So this, Carrie asks, this RFQ does not include any details about the actual design concept. Then they quote, do not submit a proposal for a new commission at this time. This is a team proposal, so the idea would explain why each team member is involved. Carrie, you're correct. We're not requesting for you to submit proposals of what the artwork will look like. However, if you are assembling a team or if anyone is assembling a team, please include all relevant information to the team and how each team will contribute to the final artwork in the letter of interest that we're requesting. I haven't seen any other questions.
Okay, it looks like Hallie Glidden has a question. Hallie, did you want to just type that into the Q&A? I'm going to allow you to talk. Okay. Hallie, what was your question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to type it for you. Do you want me to type it?
No, you can just ask.
Okay, cool. So as an artist who is newer to big scale murals, what do you have any suggestions or feedback from what you've seen from other artists? But yet, like, I'm someone who's fully capable of the project but doesn't quite have the resume yet to, I don't know, maybe get the project. Do you have any feedback, advice?
In your letter of interest, you could talk about that, especially if you feel that you are able to create a large scale mural and maybe show your past work. But that letter of interest is a way where you can say, like, my work might not reflect a project of this scope, but this is like, you can talk about other experiences you have if you've worked on like other large murals with other artists. So that is the place that you can do that.
Amazing. Thank you.
Let's give a minute or so for anyone who needs to type a question in, or if you do just want to raise your hand and you can ask it live. Oh, Callie has it. Let's see. Callie, do you have another question?
I do. Okay. So what would you guys recommend overall, with these experiences, like, or opportunities rather, for someone who, once again, like doesn't quite have the resume filled with the bigger projects? Because there's a lot that SLC Public Art has out right now and is offering. I'm just curious what you guys would recommend on your end for someone in my shoes.
Are you referring to like the other requests for qualifications?
Yeah. Like if you don't have the portfolio quite yet.
So we try to do a project to support emerging artists every year. So I would definitely keep a lookout for that.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Renato, do you have anything else you want to add?
I think I would recommend two things. The first one is think about forming a team. Teams are quite common in the public art world, so think about partnering up with someone like an architect, an engineer, other artists that have more public art experience under their belt, and form a team and work with them. And that could help you get a portfolio going. I know that this is a challenge in the public art field of not having enough experience, and then that could be a hindrance into getting a commission. So consider forming a team, or consider being working with an artist that could perhaps mentor you, and you'll be part of that team. The other thing is Amy recently completed with our colleagues in the Salt Lake County Arts in Public Places program and the state of Utah. They did a series called From Concept to Commission. You can find her on our website. We'll link it over here in just a minute. And that's just an overview of what the public art process is like. So we invite you to take a look at that so you can get a better understanding of commissioning agencies like ours are looking for in artists, but also it has valuable information in terms of what you need to prepare in order for you to present successful qualifications for specific projects.
And
Great.
that YouTube link is on our website. And below that is also a guide to the Salt Lake City Arts Council's public art program. So I would also look at that as well.
And that's just on the SLC.
It's on the public art website. And so we'll just link that shortly.
Gorgeous. I can find it in the Instagram bio as well, I bet. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for such great questions. Just gonna give it one more minute just for any lingering questions. Okay, just a reminder that if you think of any more questions, just email me, Renato, or the public art program at slc.gov. Yeah, reach out to us with any questions. Thank you all for attending today. Bye.